move on now. Church splits or the divisions of a church into two or more churches is indeed a common issue in the country. Some churches still split over doctrinal issues while others split due to leadership issues. The St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission Church, founded by Christinah Mokotudi Nku, split in 1972 with PJ Masango becoming an Archbishop of the church, and this was confirmed by a long drawn-out court battle. Now, through various events and collaborative efforts, the church hopes to reunite now. The church recently held a unity festival on the 10th and 11th of August, the second joint festival celebrated by the two groups. For more on this, we're joined in studio by the Archbishops David Ramela of the St. Paul African Apostolic Church, Archbishop Daniel Mathe, and Deputy Archbishop, that's Johannes Nku from the St. John's Church. Good afternoon, bishops, and thank you so much for sharing your time with us on the SABC News Desk. Bishop Mathe, let's start with you. This is a church that's more than 100 years old, with a long, rich, vibrant history. Can you just give us a bit of background and perspective on the roots of the church, its formation, and perhaps what led to the split about 40 or 50 odd years ago?
Yeah, let me start and say the founder of this church was born in 1894, grew up as a young girl, but between 1906, he started to get the words from God. He was spoken with God all the time. God sent him even at home. They were saying maybe she's running mad.
And the dreams of the 12 doors.
Yes, but the prophet of the 12 doors started at 1924 when he profited 12 doors.
All right.
And then 1952, the 12 doors was there.
All right.
And then he profited this fiction, the fight fiction of the church in 1932, saying that after he has opened the church, he see the big fight, the split of the church. And that thing started in 1968, when the fiction was starting now to be in the church, inside, everything. But no one has won the church.
No one has ruined the church.
No one has won the church.
Won the church outright.
The only thing, the battle they were fighting was the position of bishop.
All right.
Yeah, who's going to lead the church?
Bishop, can you come in here and just remind us of the thorny issues or the divisive issues in the church right now? The issue of leadership, Bishop mentioned just now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, our church at this present moment, surely we are going to be together with those who wants to join us, because we want to make one church. We want to take the church back to where it was before. So we wish all the churches, all the archbishops of the St. John's, different St. John's, to come and sit down with us to talk about this, because what we want is to pray God, not to fight over the church.
All right.
Thank you.
And how is that selection process run at the church, Archbishop, when you're choosing, when you're selecting senior leadership of the church? What are some of the criteria that you look at? Actually,
at our church, we don't vote for Archbishop. Yeah, it is that the thing that came through the power of God. So everyone who God says this one is fit to be an archbishop, then we take him.
If I may add, actually,
of course,
I was told that it was prophesied by Christinah Nku how the church is going to be led. You know, she's actually told them that it's going to be led in this way through the generations and generations. So she prophesied everything. It's just that when she died and when people saw that they can actually make money out of the church, that's when they started to fight for the seats. But it's been prophesied that this is how the church is going to be ruled.
Yes.
When these ones die, this one will come after. When these ones die, this one will come after. So it was a prophecy of the old lady. And I'm glad that during the Women's Month, there is unity coming. The church of Christinah Nku, it's coming together because it's a church that was formed by a woman, and in Women's Month, that's when we actually bring in the church together. So I'm just saying, everything was prophesized. She actually left the prophecy to say, this church should be ruled in this manner. So she prophesied everything.
On the notes, gentlemen, of the Unity Festival that was held on the 10th and 11th of August, what feedback have you had from congregants in terms of how much it has done to help cohesion and unification of your church right now?
Everybody was happy.
Yes.
Everybody was happy. Even right now, we are still getting the calls outside. Yeah.
It's actually started in April in Motlolo. That's where the unity started. So this was the second feast that happened actually to bring together the church. So it's very exciting. You know, on the 10th and the 11th, you had the old grannies that came and said, this is how we know this church. This is how when Christinah was living, this is what we used to see. So everybody was very happy, and
it starts to feel like it's really about resuscitating some of those values, those founding values at the time. Bishop Nku, you mentioned a 2021 deadline for getting everything in order. What plans going forward?
We are still planning to make things to go all right, in the right way actually. But in 2021, for sure, we are going to be together, to be united as two churches. St. John's Apostolic Church of Prophets and St. John's Apostolic Faith Mission of Southern Africa. But we want all the St. John's to come and join us. Not to say we are going to lead them, but we want to pray together. We must go and visit each and every church which is named by St. John, so that we can pray God in the right way.
Thank you. A parting shot, a message for congregants, just as a parting shot.
Yes, I want just to add something that the Archbishop has said now. The breakaways outside, we want them must never have any breakaways anymore. Because once I pray with Archbishop Nku and seeing that I can go and make money, I'm just getting out, you know. Go and form, and I'm forming the same name. So we don't want that name again. It must go and be open and play it around. No. Because we have registered as a trademark. It's a trademark now. These people, they must understand what is the meaning of a trademark. So we don't want any fight. We want to pray, come together, sit down and pray.
So our message to the congregation, I must state it that I'm actually here on behalf of Archbishop Ramela, which is one of Christinah's great-grandchildren. So because he was late, I had to come in. But the message that we're passing out there to the congregation, we want unity. Everybody knows when they came into this church, they were helped, they were assisted. Some didn't have kids. The old lady prayed for them, they had kids. So let's come together. And even those ones that have their own churches, and we don't say you must come and be under us, but let's form St. John's. Let's make Christinah to be where she's laid, to be a happy woman when she sees that her church is coming together. But by the way, also, she also prophesied that this church at some stage will come together, and we're thinking this is the time. So we're pleading to all other churches, especially the St. John's churches, to come together. They know that she prophesies that Easter must be held in Motlolo. That's the prophecy. So we all need to go there and pray there and ask God for whatever we want, and we will be answered. So we're making a plea to all the congregations to come together in the name of the three prophets. It's Ntate Moloi, it's Christinah, it's Ntatera Moipone. Those were the prophets that were given this thing to lead us as congregations.
Right. Thank you, bishops. We'll have to leave it there. I do wish you well in your efforts to unify your church going forward. On that note, it's time to take a short break. I'll be back with more news after this.